North Korea, one of the most secretive nations on Earth. For over 7 decades, it has been ruled by a single family dynasty, with a leadership style that combines absolute power, ideological control, and propaganda. But to truly understand this isolated nation, we must look at its history, its founding leaders, and the daily life of its people. At the end of World War II in 1945, Korea, which had been under Japanese occupation, was liberated. However, it was quickly divided along the 38th parallel. The Soviet Union occupied the north, while the United States occupied the south. This temporary division became permanent, fueled by the emerging Cold War tensions. In 1948, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea was established in the north, with Kim Il-sung as its first leader, setting the stage for a regime that would become one of the most controlled and secretive in history. Kim Il-sung, a former anti-Japanese guerrilla fighter, rose to power with support from the Soviets. He crafted the ideology of juche, or self-reliance, which remains central to North Korea's governance today. His leadership was characterized by a cult of personality. His image was omnipresent, his words treated as law, and his control absolute. Kim Il-sung's policies prioritized loyalty to the regime over the welfare of the people, and dissent was ruthlessly crushed. In 1950, Kim Il-sung invaded South Korea, triggering the Korean War. The conflict lasted 3 years, leaving millions dead and the peninsula devastated. The war ended in 1953 with an armistice, but no formal peace treaty, leaving North Korea technically at war with the South to this day. Despite the destruction, Kim Il-sung used the post-war period to solidify his regime, rebuilding cities, establishing a centralized economy, and creating a network of political and social controls that would dominate the nation for decades. After Kim Il-sung's death in 1994, his son Kim Jong-il assumed power, cementing the hereditary nature of North Korea's leadership. Kim Jong-il's rule was marked by secrecy, military focus, and economic mismanagement. Famine in the 1990s killed hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Yet the regime maintained strict control, using propaganda, forced loyalty, and isolation from the outside world to suppress unrest. Under his rule, nuclear development became a central focus, setting the stage for global tensions that continue today. Kim Jong-un, the grandson of the founding father, took power in 2011. He has modernized the regime in some ways, embracing advanced military technology and international media spectacle, while continuing extreme internal control. Public executions, surveillance, and indoctrination remain tools of governance. Yet under his leadership, North Korea also presents an image of strength and defiance to the world, balancing threats of nuclear capability with occasional diplomatic gestures. For ordinary North Koreans, life is highly regimented. The government controls housing, jobs, education, and even personal movement. Food scarcity is a daily concern for many, and access to outside information is heavily restricted. Citizens are constantly monitored, and deviation from the state's rules can mean imprisonment or worse. Despite this, the regime maintains loyalty through propaganda, education, and fear, creating a society where survival often depends on obedience and conformity. Every aspect of life is influenced by the state. From massive parades celebrating the leaders, to textbooks that glorify the Kim family, propaganda is omnipresent. Citizens are taught to revere their leaders as almost divine figures. Even the arts, media, and celebrations are carefully choreographed to reinforce the regime's ideology, leaving little room for independent thought or creativity. From Kim Il-sung to Kim Jong-un, North Korea remains a nation defined by its leaders' absolute power and the resilience of its people. Understanding this country requires looking beyond headlines, exploring both the personalities who shaped it and the lives of those who live within its borders. Despite isolation, scarcity, and control, the story of North Korea is a story of survival, fear, and the enduring impact of dictatorship. If you liked the video, don't forget to like. See you later.